Question 35 is 1.5 times 57. So if you notice here, you have a mixed number and a whole number. So a mixed number, let's write that down. A mixed number is where you have the whole part and the fraction part. So for example, you might have 3 and 1/5. So 3 is the whole part and 1/5 is the fraction part. And what did we say about this whole number? We can call it an integer. And what did we say an integer was? It's a whole number that can be either positive, it can be negative, or it can be simply 0. So if you can learn this word integer and mixed number, it's very useful. So our first step with this is turn this into an improper fraction. So let's write that word down, improper fraction. And that is simply where the top number is bigger than the bottom number in a fraction, and I'll show you in a second. So what you do is you do the big number times the bottom number, add the top number. So it'll be 1 times 2 plus 1. 1 times 2 plus 1. And that gives 3. So all we do is we write 3 over 2. So we have 3 halves. So let me go through that again. 1 times 2 plus 1 is 3 divided by 2. So 3 divided by 2, 3 halves, times 57. Now what I like to do with this number is divide it by 1 to turn it into a fraction. So now what I have is 3 over 2 times 57 over 1. I have 2 fractions, and that's straightforward. 3 times 57 and 2 times 1. So let's put the fraction line down. And 3 times 57. So let's do that here. 3 times 57. So I'll do it in column multiplication. 57 at the top times 3. So now this is my calculation. So I'll do 3 times 7 is 21. I put the 1 down, carry the 2 over to the next column. Then I do 3 times 5 is 15. Add the 2 that we've carried over is 17. So I put the 7 down and carry the 1 over to the next column. We can put it straight down because we've finished. So the answer is 171. So back to this, 3 times 57 is 171. Now we do 2 times 1, which is 2. Now here we have 171 over 2. 171 halves. And that is an improper fraction because the top number is bigger than the bottom number. Now what we need to do is turn this into a mixed number, where you have a whole part and a fraction part. And we do that by asking ourselves, how many 2's are there in 171? So let's rub this out, and we can do the bus shelter here. So I'm going to do a bus shelter. It's raining. So 171 is getting wet, so we're going to put that on the inside. 171. And the 2 has to go on the outside. So now what we have is, how many 2's are there in this 1? 0. So we carry the 1 over, because we've not used that, to the 7. And that 7 becomes 17. So now it's, how many 2's are there in 17? That is 8, remainder 1. and the remainder gets carried over, and that one becomes 11. So let me just go back to this here. We said how many 2's are there in 17. So if I did my 2 times table, it would be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and 16. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the 8 goes there, and we've only used 16, but we had 17. So we have remainder 1, and that remainder gets carried over. So that's how we got that. Now we ask ourselves, how many 2's are there in 11? Let's have a look here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can go up to 10. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. And we've only used 10, but we had 11, so it's 85 remainder 1. Now let's rub this off to give us some room. So our answer is 85 remainder 1. 85 remainder 1. But we can write this remainder as 85 remainder 1. And because we were dividing by 2, we have to put it over 2. So it'll be 1 over 2, which is a half. So our answer is 85 and a half. Question 36 is 2,242 shared by 59. And they've already done it in the bus shelter format. So what we can do is ask ourselves, how many 59s can we get from 2? 0. So that 2 gets carried over, so it becomes 22. Now again, how many 59s are there in 22? We can't get a 59 from 22, so we put a 0. Now this 22 gets carried over to the 4, so carefully put down 22. So now we have 224. So how many 59s are there in 224? So what we can do is, we can do it this way. We can do simple addition. Let's do that. So 59 add 59. 9 add 9 is 18. We put the 8 down and carry the 1 over. Now it's 5 add 5 is 10, plus the 1 we've carried over is 11. So we put the 1 down and carry the 1 over to the next column. So now we have 118. And we have 224, so we can keep going. So we can do 118, add another 59. So 8 add 9 is 17. We put the 7 down, carry the 1 over. 1 add 5 is 6, plus the 1 is 7. And finally, we have this 1, add, there's nothing there, so it's simply 1. So our number is 177, but we have 224. Now we need to ask ourselves, can we add another 59? So let's try it here. 177 add 59. 7 add 9 is 16. We put the 6 down, carry the 1 over to the next column. Now we're in the tens column, so 7 add 5 is 12, plus the 1 we've carried over makes it 13. So we put the 3 down and carry the 1 over to the next column. Now it's 1 add 1 is 2. So we have 236, and that's more than that, so we can't do this one. So altogether we have added 1, 2, 3 lots of 59. So how many 59s are there in 224? 3. Now we need to work out the remainder. So we've used 177 and we had 224. So what we can do is 224 take away the 177 we've used. 4 take away 7. We can't do that, we've not got enough. So we go to the neighbour, we cross that out, that becomes 1. And the one we've borrowed turns the 4 into a 14. So now it's 14 take away 7, which is 7. Now moving on to the next column, it's 1 take away 7. We can't do that. We've not got enough. So we go to the neighbour, the 2 we cross out, and that becomes a 1. And the 1 we've borrowed turns this one into 11. So now carefully we have 11 take away 7. And that is 4. And finally, 1 take away 1 is nothing. So our answer is 47. So there's remainder 47. That 47 gets carried over to the 2. 47. So our number now is 472. So I just want to rub this out now. And I want to carry this calculation on. So we added 59 and 59 and we ended up with 118. We added another 59, we ended up with 177. And then we added another 59 and we ended up on 236. So let's continue that. 236 add 59. 6 add 9 is 15. Put the 5 down. Carry the 1 over. 3 add 5 is 8. Plus the 1 is 9. And then 2 add nothing is simply 2. So we continue on till we get to that number. So now it's 295 add 59. 5 add 9 is 14. We carry the 1. 9 add 5 is 14. Plus the 1 is 15. So we put the 5 down and we carry the 1 over. And finally we have 2 add 1, which is 3. So we have 354. We've not reached that target. So let's carry on. 354 add 59. 4 add 9 is 13. Carry the 1. 5 add 5 is 10. Plus the 1 we've carried over is 11. Put the 1 down. Carry the 1 over. 3 add 1 is 4. So now we have 413. It's not quite there. So let's try one more. 413 add 59. 3 add 9 is 12. Carry the 1 over. 1 add 5 is 6. Plus the 1 we've carried over is 7. And finally in the last column we have 4 add nothing, which is 4. And we've got 472 and that's our target. Now we simply look at how many 59s we've added. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So how many 59s are there in 472? 8. And remember what we said about the leading zeros. We can cross these out. And our answer is 38. Now we can do this using the long division method. So how many 59s are there in 2? 0. So now carefully, 59 times 0 is 0. Put a line there and subtract the 2. So 2 take away 0 is 2. And we bring this 2 down as a helper, as a companion. So now we have 22. Now the question is, how many 59s are there in 22? 0. Now this is where you have to be careful. 59 times 0 is 0. Put a line there, do subtraction. Now it's simply 22 take away 0 is 22. Again, we bring this 4 down as a companion, as a helper. 4. So now we have 224. Now the question is, how many 59s do we have in 224? And we worked that out before and it was 3. And now we have to do 59 times 3 is 177. Now we simply subtract these two. 4 take away 7 we can't do. So we go to the neighbour, borrow 1. And that becomes 14. 14 take away 7 is 7. 1 take away 7 we can't do. So we go to the neighbour, borrow 1. That one becomes 11. 11 take away 7 is 4. And finally 1 take away 1 is 0. So our remainder is 47. And then we finally bring this 2 down as a helper. So now we have 472. And we have to share 472 by 59. So how many 59s are there in 472? And we worked that out earlier and it's 8. So we put 8 here. Now for the final step, we simply do 59 times 8 is 472. And when we subtract 472 from 472, we end up with 0. And our remainder is 0, which is good. That's what we want. So our answer, doing it this way, is we ignore these two leading zeros, is 38. It's exactly the same as before. So you can do it either way. Now some people use a method called chunking. And we can discuss that in a different video. But maybe you want to look that up. The chunking method.